Revival, America is not the next poster child of a God's not done with America. The primary prophecy of the Master's Voice Prophecy blog is that America is a nation of sin. America is a nation of compromise. America is a nation of deeply embedded ways that are against who God is, how God operates, God's way, God's law, God's Messiah, God's book, everything to do with God. America is a God-hating nation, and therefore America's judgment has been set and sealed by the Lord, and that is that this nation is going to be absolutely and completely destroyed by a series of natural disasters, by a series of financial collapse. God was telling me, I think it was very early this morning, the dreams that I was having, he was telling me that America is going to come into such intense poverty that all people will be thinking about here is how to get food to eat. God said, you see these people, they speak so proudly and they speak so dismissively of my word and my ways and my works and my messengers. But the time is coming when there is going to be such crushing poverty in America that they will be mute, Celestial. They will not be able to say anything. God says that people will be so poor. People will be so downtrodden. People will be so stressed. People will be so broke. And people will be so hungry that all the talk, all the mockery, all the insults, everything that I go through every single minute of every single day on this blog as I'm bringing God's voice into a nation that is already so loud with voices. God says that every single voice that is talking now is going to quiet down as poverty gets a hold of America and begins to squeeze. So if you are new, there is a lot to go through. It may seem overwhelming. I simply recommend that you go to my dashboard, scroll until you come to the playlists. And the first playlist that you should start with is the Russia and China playlist, because the Russia and China playlist details over a period of 5 years here in public. It's actually been longer than that. The first that I heard of Russia and China is, I think, 2014 from God. But it basically details what's going to happen to America in the long run. In the end, America is going to be attacked and ultimately defeated and ultimately taken over and ultimately subjugated. And America is basically going to become a colony kind of slave nation under the twin rule of Russia and China, but Russia is going to definitely be leading. And so the prophecy that supports everything that I'm going to read to you tonight is called Jeremiah 13, the fall of America to Russia. So if you listen to this one, this prophecy is simply serving as a reminder to you, America, God has sent me to tell you that at the moment of clash between you and him that is going on currently, at the moment of clash, at the moment of resistance from America, from the American people, from the American leadership, especially in the church, not the American leadership outside, but the American leadership in the church and the people who so-called style themselves as your prophets. They style themselves as your religious leaders. They style themselves as the voices that have basically shaped this nation and made this nation what it is. American Christians are the way they are because American pastors are the way they are. American false prophets are the way they are. And so those two groups have created the type of American Christian that we have today: unbelieving, recalcitrant, very hard-hearted, extremely arrogant, extremely proud, very poorly taught, and yet so quick to speak. And so God is saying that as that clash is ongoing, this prophecy is a way of reminding you that while you are speaking, while you are saying things, while you are talking, while you are in the midst of what you think is debunking and rebuttal and all that, God just wants me, Celestial, to remind you that on his end, everything is exactly on track. Just a moment, please.